We're getting in the closest ones. Bam. Here we see some flak diffs. Ooh, do you see that? Bam! What a cloud, man.
GMODISM.
It's me, not Mario. It's GMODISM back again from the other long country which you don't know the name of because you always mix it up with Switzerland. Post my country's real name in comments if you're smart. Anyways, we're back with building a battleship and we're using the beautiful Rambot costume because you have told me that the droid costume is heretical. So I myself cramped into this space and it's very cozy. Anyways, this time we're gonna talk about CIWS systems, so I thought we should be looking at a couple of different designs I have been experimenting with. Right, so when we're trying to develop some kind of CIWS close-in weapon systems, we need to have a good mix of different systems. Now, these are 3 different ones. This is an old medium one. I updated it a little bit, but it's pretty efficient. However, I do not want to have too many sub-objects, so I think this might be a little bit too small. Then we have this really big design. This is kind of expensive, but it has loads of missiles and should deal pretty good damage. And then we have a pneumatic system actually, and this is proven to be pretty efficient. And if you haven't watched that, you should probably watch my empirical testing about pneumatic CIWS systems, because we can make a medium missile that has a much smaller reload time. So this is like 14 seconds each, and this is 10 seconds each. So of course they have limited range, but I think it may actually be worth it. So we might use some missile systems, and then we might also use some kinetic type system. This is original a flak CIWS cannon, and I want flak to be able to deal with crams coming in for the Turtle Lord. But then we have a kinetic CIWS system here. This one I've been pretty happy with in the future. No, in the past. It is the kinetic 49mm CIWS, costs 11,000. I'm pretty happy with that. And then we have this combined system I made recently, and I think this is pretty cool. I like this one a lot. But it's a kinetic, a flak system, and a missile system combined. But I'm wondering if this will be too many sub-objects. You may recognize this from Adventure Mode, by the way, which you should check out otherwise. Let's just spawn in something for the eyes to see. Here the crams come in. You can see they actually take some of them out. It's pretty cool. So, what I'm looking for is to deal all sorts of different types of damage. You can see that's pretty beautiful. We can blow up stuff there. We got the kinetic system popping in there. And the anti-missile missiles seem to be doing a pretty good job. The pneumatic CIWS can be a little bit hard to see because they're kind of not... They're a little bit hard to spot by the simple fact that, well, they don't show any thruster plume when they're fired. But again, they reload fast, so I think a pneumatic system could only be complementary. But I'm thinking to use some diff CIWS system to tackle crams in particular. So we'll see a little bit. I think we're going to skip small flak like this one, because small flak will just not be able to deal the type of damage we're looking for. Here we have a couple of flak diff guns. So these are diff CIWS gun, and I'm particularly happy about the Vigoletta Skyfire dual system. I think it looks pretty cool. I added some decorations, of course. And it has, well, 8 shots in total, and then it's gonna be a long reload. And then we have the S-Corp smaller little system that's even cheaper, a lot cheaper. And then we have the little design we have gotten slash lent slash taken with his permission from Setup, which was present on the Stridsjagd. So, oh god, now they kind of blow up a little bit too close, but they are supposed to do their job. if we just reload, you can see that they actually blow up the shells coming in there. Bam, you can see that. That's pretty amazing. And since the Turtle Lord is firing swarms of crams like this, I think we need a couple of these flak diff guns to clear up the sky a little bit. And maybe we can make the lambs deal with the rest. That's the strategy in any case. I am thinking to combine it a little bit with some missile systems, medium missile system, because we want to keep the small missiles low to be able to like not have too many missiles in the air, because that will lag. That was one of the problems with the Draconia. It just kind of lagged too much when we had too many things in the air at once. It was a little bit crazy with all those VLM small missiles. The needles, they were called. Well, in any case, I'm going to test and look at different missile designs, and we'll see what we can come up with. Right, so after some testing and some, well, building, but previously, I have found some missile systems that I think excel a little bit more than the others for this application. Now these pneumatics, we're actually having a pneumatic system here, and it's getting in a little bit later on. It's really only getting activated if the enemy is a little bit too close, if the shots are a little bit too close, so they may be wasted, but again, these are loaded each and every time the enemy shells come towards us. And this is the crossbones. We are facing Turtle Lord and other designs, which are just so much more dangerous. But you can really see they clean up the sky. And even though these are tiny pneumatic shells just firing out two more, like, they're so simple. It's like they're so basic. But you can see they really make a little cloud that just appears in the air here. And whenever there are target crams close by, they will detonate into this cloud and really clear up a lot of those shells, and they will basically be in the vicinity each time a cram shot is fired. It's a very few cram shells that reload faster than every 10 seconds. So I really like them, and I also just like the idea of having a pneumatic sieve system, so you can see 3 of them are good to clean up the rest that comes in too close. Then we have this beautiful system. It's a high cost, high risk system. These are the Speedex, and they are using short range thrusters. They're going at like full force, they're going really fast, they're having some things that help them launch. We have turning thrusters, fuel tank interceptors. They're just built for speed. They actually don't have any pneumatic systems attached to them, do they? No, they don't. They can't fit that. But they are fast enough anyways, and they have this beautiful thing of really getting out some shells or really getting out some shrapnel into the air long before anything else is there. So now we have 3 of them, and let's see the cost here. This is the Shred, that's the pneumatic system. It costs 9,000 materials each. And then we have the, it's actually down there, Orion Combined Medium Missile Speedex Intercivs. I think they're pretty cool. They do the job very well. And to combine with that, we have these beauties, which I have in an earlier testing video fine-tuned for hours to make these missiles have the most chance of actually getting onto a trajectory that will blow up and do some damage to cram shells. So this is a vertical launch system, a VLM sieve system, but they are medium, but they are still pretty maneuverable. You can see they are actually having time to go into a trajectory and deal damage to those cram shells, and I think that's pretty cool, because a lot of the VLM sieves missiles don't do the job against crams, so it was really hard to set this up. And if you want some tips on that, you can check the earlier video, but a little bit quickly. They're coordinated, they have a high APN guidance, they have turning thrusters and no fins, and a variable thruster. And the crucial component here is the start delay of exactly 0.4 seconds and a pretty nice, well, yeah, they're balanced like that. So I think we try to integrate these systems onto our battleship together with some kinetic civs. We got the basic lambs, and and we're going to use that together with some flak divs, probably a lot of flak divs, to deal some good damage. And I just want to give out a huge thanks to all of you who are in the Discord and keeping it alive. It's super fun, and if you're not there already, you should join. Also join the Army of GMODISM, because we're gonna have a challenge that requires that you're a member of the Army of GMODISM. And you can just self-assign yourself a Matros 3rd class, and you're in the army. And of course, you can also become a commissioned officer via Patreon, and that will support me very much too. From $1 a month and up. And about that, huge thanks to our commissioned officers, most notably Admiral Super Dave, Captain Y, Stellar Lieutenant C2, Venerated Lieutenant powered by Greed, Lieutenant Asteria, Lieutenant powered by Greed, Lieutenant Vincent Veritas, and Lieutenant Tyler Russ. I said powered by Greed 2 times, I just realized. But, well, thanks a lot. So here it is. This is the updated version, and here you can see I've chose to install a Vigoletta dual barrel Skyfire flak diff gun back here. So we have 8 shots of protection there. Onto this side here, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the cram turret that was installed here was so bad. It was so bad I just had to remove it. And we replaced it with a, well, a diff gun, dealing damage, very basic. It's just a shaped charge. I'm not sure it's gonna get through, but we really need a turret there for looks. We might replace this with a flak diff gun later. But in any case, I did some interior accessways, so you can see it looks really beautiful now with the golden railings, and I don't remember if it's sometimes hard to remember what was added where. Look at this. The AOG BB Gamelab Battleship, commissioned by Lord Admiral GMODISM for the Army of GMODISM. Oh my god. The narcissism. Tune it down. No, it's the part of the army. Constructed in the GMODISM Industries shipyard. Yeah, we go on. It's extreme. I'm sorry. Shipyards 1. Gimle is the golden and gemstone roofed hall where all the worthy people reside during the Ragnarök cataclysm in Norse mythology. So there we have the story behind the name. Isn't that pretty cool? Yeah. In any case, I think it is. And yeah. Anyways, about the Skyfire, we have the Vigoletta Skyfire Durable. 2 of them in the front here too, because we really want to keep the skies clear. We also got a couple of diff guns there as before. We retained this system because it feels so integrated. I don't know if it does much, but what the hell. And here we have the S-Corp flak getting mounted there to shoot some shells from in front of us whenever we're spawning, because we're gonna spawn nose to nose. We also have the setups, beautiful little manual diff gun here. We've got 2 of them and a little tiny cannon for the looks. And I've added one to the side here to get that broadside action protection. And we added one down here together with a couple of S-Corps. So yeah. Now that's the extent of it. I think I'll need to add some of the... I think I need to add some missiles too that really keep us covered. But we'll see about that a little bit later. We're just gonna do some basic testing, of course. Gemstone covered hall. We also updated the decorations inside of here. We just loaded in a little bit of a stronghold just to see how we're dealing with this little cram barrage here. So the crab barrage of the Stronghold is not the scariest thing in the world, but if you don't know how to protect yourself against crab barrages like this, CIWS diff, they can be pretty scary, especially if you don't have any lamps or anything. Bam! There you can see, isn't that quite beautiful? Now it would have missed, but we got some style points, don't you think? Alright, so we'll access the intakes here. We can see this is, I think it's 500 millimeter, unless it's not, but if it's 500 we have a flak damage of 30,000. So that's why you need a lot of hardeners, by the way, so that you can make sure... Oh, it's 450. Yeah, well, in any case, that puts our damage of this flak shell to 26,000. But on this particular turret, and the flak radius is 64 meters, so if we shoot at the center of the cluster, we can probably get rid of it, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's why we put a lot of hardener pellets, and why we have some hold points on this middle turret here, just to deal some extra damage against the incoming targets. Now, I don't really want to protect against torpedoes and stuff like that, because that feels a little bit boring, but we might need to do that. We can see we're still at 100%, we're protecting pretty well against those cram barrages, since we do have the nice radius of the flak. But keep in mind that most of our flak guns only have, what is it? It's 5 shots. So I don't know how much how long it takes to reload. Oh my god, we don't have any defense against these torpedoes, man. Ugh. Okay, yeah, I don't want to have torpedo defenses because torpedoes are better to outrun, and we're pushing like 40 meters per second. But you can see they're doing big holes in our armor here. Now, we don't have anything important at that part of the armor really, but man, it's a little bit annoying. It would be nice to maybe have some missile to just slow them down at least. You can see we can outrun some of them, but not all of them. Darn, and this missile actually hit... Yeah, that missile actually hit us in the side there. That killed the turret, so it did damage. We might need to have some anti-missile missiles for sure. But in any case, about diff guns, the normal ones have 5 shots, 1 in the barrel and 4 in the ammo inputs. And if they have a reload time, the enemy scram cannons of say 25 seconds, we do have more than 2 minutes of being safe from their damage, basically. If we have like 1, yeah. If that makes any sense. So, I think that it's pretty worth it, and for the Vigoletta Skyfire, now they fire at once, but they have 9 shots in total, 8 from... No, they have 10 shots in total, of course. What am I saying? So, that should deal a lot of damage and really clear up. You can see they fire in succession, bang, bang, and of course the turtle already is set up, so its cram cannons are much more scary and we need a lot more damage to deal with them. I really think we're gonna replace this teaser up here with something a little bit more scary. What? We got a torpedo that got the damage to the other side. But because it's so much empty space, it didn't kill anything critical. That's pretty funny. Well, in any case, we're gonna add some more systems and check the next iteration. And there we go. I went to go with the SpeedX on top here, so we should have some nice cover there. And I integrated the beautiful actual VLM system, but I figured we might as well point them towards the enemy. So we have a little VLM system integrated here, and caution tape so you don't stand in front of them. There's the decoy, and we have a couple of diff civs there too now, so we need to spread them out because some of them could get shot out. I noticed when I tested that a little bit too off screen. Now, if we have to, we could change this to diff civs, by the way. That's an easy fix if we need to. And other than that, I think that's like the most of it. But I do think I actually updated the share during this thing, so you can see I made a beautifully designed custom share for Captain Y sitting in the commanding position, steering the ship. A little bit more scary position to sit at, but you know, we can't put the Admiral at a dangerous place like this, so I think the Admiral will probably sit here and just chill. Or if it's smart, maybe not here, maybe like, I don't know. There is no good places to stay really. Oh, I know. Maybe we can make a little share for Admiral Super Dave in the compartment. I think that would be great. Yeah, well, in any case, we have done that. Did I add something in the inside? That's something I'll need to check. It's like I'm building all over this ship, so sometimes it's hard to remember if I fixed something. I upgraded the laser but sticking some more units somewhere. I do know that. Question is exactly where. That's more of a mystery. However, I did notice that there were a few problems, like some of the diff guns at my offline testing were actually blowing up shells a little bit too close to our structure, so we did damage to our own blocks. So yeah, we're gonna move to the next iteration because I already know what's wrong with this, and that is some diff flags are killing us, literally shooting off blocks. Not good at all, and the safety distance I set for them apparently doesn't matter. I don't know why. I think it's just that the failsafe margin can't be wide enough or something. I don't know. It just doesn't work, the placement of some of the turrets. So, the placement here, with my offline testings, I noted that this exact placement was pretty rarely getting shot at, because I think it's like in the outer edge and there is pretty low risk that anything shoots here. So I removed the diff flag and replaced it with another one of the SpeedX systems because they're pretty nice. And I did remove the diff gun up here because it was too good of a placement for a diff gun, because again, this placement also didn't got shot very often. So inside of here, I could fit a little nicer shield and nicer interiors. Look at this now. I think it looks a little bit more glorious. And I even added a sleeping matros of the army of GMODISM there. Maybe it's you, who knows? Maybe it's one of you. And we also have a little symbolical docking station here. Now this won't come with a drone, but I figured if this is gonna be a land gang for like airships, we should absolutely have a docking station so we can make it possible. Well, in any case, that's not really what we're talking about. We are talking about Civ scans. This kinetic Civ scan was a good complement to combat big incoming missiles and also crams, so I figured 11,000, let's stick it in here because I like it. Yeah. Somehow I removed the green light because the red light is... Did I mix this up? Please tell me in comments if my placement of the lights are correct. I think that I think that this side of the ship, which is not starboard, port. I think port is red and starboard is green. The green disappeared, but whatever. Yeah, so that has happened. Now, there has been some slight changes too. We added some extra boosted interior armor because some stray frags were just ripping up stuff. And we finally put the armor on the AI compartment so it's safe. Admiral Super Dave, do you want to share inside the AI compartment? Tell me. Admiral Dave, do you want a little hut that you can stay in? A little admiral's hut at this particular space because I realized I don't have anything to use this space for. If you want that, please tell me in the comments or in Discord. I think it would be funny. But in any case, we added some basic interior armor there. And yeah, I think that's the extent of it. However, there is a few more problems that we need to tackle, and it turns out that these flak guns actually shoot each other sometimes. I did remove the diff gun that was dealing damage there because it was just getting in the way, and I just have these 2 flak guns, but it seems that these 2 flak guns blow up each other half of the time, so I'm unfortunately will have to remove like this one. Then we are still having a little bit of trouble with this cannon. It sometimes blows us up. So yeah, I'm gonna do some more testing and do some slight updates. But good news, we are finally having the pneumatic system on a serious battleship. So here we have it, the pneumatic little, I can't remember the darn name on my own. This is the shred. Yes, the shred system has been installed. Is that not quite beautiful? It is, very nice. And there is another issue we have. We are over budget. We're 2.208 materials. And that's like 10k at least over budget. Because I don't want to be cheesing my way to like the finish line. I want to have a decent end cost. So we're a bit over budget. We'll need to fix that. Let me present to you the discounted fixed version of the previous iteration. There it is. We have a little double sun bed there, but we only have one of the Vigolettas here because we don't want them to blow up each other. That's just super sad. Okay. Other than that, what do we have? We got some different types of diff sieves. You can see we have removed the problem shy that was there. This one, we were able to fix that one and that one with having just limitations on how they can aim. And other than that, we're looking pretty smart here. It's working perfectly fine, and I'm trying to remember how I decrease the cost because we are now under the limit. We're a little bit too close to the limit for my liking. It feels cheese almost, even though it isn't. But yeah, we are under. We're within budget at least. I added a green light, by the way, so that's nice. We're having a ship that should work, should have defenses, and it's under the budget. But we're going to move on to the next iteration with some small fixes on it. They are so small they're not really noticeable with the eye, but it's more like lamps tweaking. We have been tweaking some turret movements so that they can't shoot where they shouldn't shoot, and all sorts of stuff. We've been going through the system during some light battle testing just to see that it kind of works. But for now, I think we should end this video with checking out if we can defend ourselves against the Turtle Lord's cram systems, which I definitely hope we can do. Now the Turtle Lord is almost 200k less expensive. Oh my god. But the barrage is very scary. So we're going to stay with this barrage and see how our newly-ish set up LAM system is able to deal with it. Now the LAMs will take the power from the lasers when it's getting in close. They are not lasers that have much storage. They are more like a continuous laser system, which makes it so we can actually combine it with our LAM systems too, because our LAMs does take from the same pool. So here we can see the LAMs are taking, oh yes, bam, come on. We're getting in the closest ones. Bam. Here we see some flak diffs. Oh, do you see that? Bam! What a cloud, man. That's so scary. I'm very glad we got rid of that. You can see some CIWS missiles popping in here in slow motion, trying to take on these very strong cramshells there. And they are of course filling the air with a cloud of sorts. Man, look at that! We got him! We got him! Amazing! Can we get this one too? No way. Are we gonna kill the turret? Are we going? No! Oh yes, we're so lucky. It misses the mark. Beautiful. Oh, that's an explosion a little bit too close to home. I hope that was us defending ourselves and not a mistake. You can see the lamps are trying to do something. When the lamps are doing something, our damage lasers are not doing something. But man, we can't tackle all of them. And that was probably very foreseen. We already knew that they couldn't take out all of them. But yeah. The lamps are nice that they help with taking out these diff shells coming in here. And our diff shells are doing a good job at taking out the enemy cram systems. So now we have kind of seen how that works. No serious damage has really been dealt yet. We're gonna move up time to real-time speed and we're gonna see. But yeah, I think so far I'm pretty happy with this system. And we have the kinetic CIWS system going in here too. Going with this barrage. Yes! Yes! We almost took out all of those cram barrages with our flak diffs. Ladies and gentlemen, are you having trouble with flak? No, are you having trouble with cram barrages? Flak diffs is your answer. And that's super nice. Okay then, that's good. One thing we do want to check, and that is which turrets hit or not. We'll need to do some fine tuning and stuff like that, but I'm thinking this ship is starting to be a formidable opponent. It's not quite done yet. I do want to have a proper battle testing video. And we are within budget still, but we're really closing on the limit. What I'm going to need to try, I want to try if my cram cannons are worth it or not, or if I should use other cram cannons, or if I should use maybe only detonators and skip my triple barrel crushers. We're gonna see about that. But in any case, I think we'll be coming back next time. Ooh, our lamps are doing a nice job keeping out those mortars. The stats are pretty even, but we are in the lead, but we also have a material lead. And one thing I also want to try, that's probably to see if I can get the cost of this ship down to under 2 million. And that could be really cool, because then we could battle the Turtle Horde on equal footing. And I wonder, we don't have any air pumps. That takes a lot of materials to keep afloat, but the air pumps lag. Well, in any case, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this, you should absolutely leave a like, of course. Leave some comments too, as mentioned before, and of course subscribe so that you can keep tuned to the series. Wow, the flak discs are so nice. They're so nice. Of course, they have a limited time of use, but man, while they're alive, they're saving us a lot of damage that would have been dealt to us otherwise. Well, in any case, thanks a lot for watching. This is your host, GMODISM. I'll see you next time. AOG Invictus.